went to school here in Perth, went to university here in Perth, studied business for a brief hot minute.
Did you finish?
Didn't finish.
Oh, gosh.
No, much to my father's disgust, didn't finish, barely even started, gave it a little bit of a crack, but couldn't quite get into the university.
Because you were busy just partying, or you were just too busy working?
I always had a bit of a side hustle. That's actually how I started in fashion. I started working in men's retail many moons ago when that was. I'd say I'm not sure the structure maybe of university and
didn't align with you.
It was probably the same as school for me. It didn't really align. I like to fly by the seat of my pants. I'm quite creative. I think the structure just didn't fit with how I wanted to express myself.
Mm-hmm.
So got into fashion whilst that was happening in retail at a men's shop. And then they had a Terrace Men, actually, Perth Business, been around for years. Great business.
Yep, I know that shop.
Yeah, shout out to those guys. They've got a side business in distribution and wholesale. So that's how I got involved in that end of the industry. Basically, they export brands, they essentially import them first and then sell them in Australia, international labels.
Oh, right.
So that's how I got into it. They had a few little brands up their sleeves from like maybe LA, a few from Europe. And I essentially helped them wholesale them around Australia.
You're getting experience and you're sort of becoming well-rounded in the industry, from start to finish, but that's a big leap of faith to, one, move to Positano, but two, to then actually start a shoe brand that's, now very famous in Australia.
Yeah, sure. I suppose the shoe brand was a natural progression from my experience within the agency. Essentially managing, such a wide variety of brands in the market, seeing what performed, what didn't perform, what was missing, etc. Footwear was a natural progression. We noticed that there was really, at that point in time, no sort of cult boutique brand for footwear. It was sort of nothing between essentially where would I explain? Not where, how would I explain this? Like your bets, like big footwear shop, and then obviously your really high-end footwear. So we sort of slotted in the middle there. Our first product was actually a slide, and this was in 2000 and...
Before slides had absolutely taken over.
I'm terrible with years. The timing was perfect. It was before slides hit the market. Mm-hmm. We got in at a great time and the product went ballistic.
So how did it go ballistic? How did you let people know about it?
Yeah, we went into obviously a few wholesale doors at boutiques essentially, and they supported it really well.
Is that because you already had those relationships?
Yeah, had the connections, had the relationships, which was obviously a definite hand up in that sense. Yeah. But in saying that, obviously the product was right. The product retailed well and the sell-through was fantastic, and then they come back. So, which is what you want. Mm-hmm. We did our first runway show last year. It was 2022 for Australian Fashion Week.
Yeah.
And that was really groundbreaking for us. It was
over in Sydney?
Yep. We were one of the closing shows for Australian Fashion Week. And
how did that get received?
It was incredible. So we had a direct intention of appealing to the international market. That was our intentions of the show. So obviously, it's 6 months preparation for a project like that. It's huge, from getting the collection together to the set design, the teams, the PR, the marketing. We built our runway and so on. So it's full on, but we had a very clear purpose, and that was to attract the buyers, from an international market. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And it basically did exactly that. So we were really thrilled with how that went.
And I heard you brought all your childhood friends over for a few drinks over in Sydney to celebrate.
Yes, all of our beautiful Perth girls came, and I was very humbled. It was an emotional week.
Yeah.
Family came. Yeah, it was gorgeous.
What a cool.
It was a whirlwind.
Did you have a moment of reflection where you went, wow, this is...
Yeah, I think afterwards it was so crazy. It was such a manic week, and anyone who's done those, shows and fashion weeks knows how how much goes into it. So it was just a bit of a whirlwind until
and
afterwards.
And the pressure as well to nail it.
Yeah.
If you get something wrong,
yeah,
you're getting media for all the wrong reasons, aren't
exactly. Well, that's it. And especially, you know, in our industry, it can be quite cutthroat with one wrong move.
Yeah. So what does the future have in store for both of those brands?
Well, can never give too much away. However, Lide is continuing to grow overseas. So we're going to be entering, you know, new markets, I'd say, every year. And that's where the excitement's coming from. We do have some newness coming out. That's a bit of a deviation for the brand, but that won't happen probably till Australian spring. So just a little hint at that.
I like it.
We've gone into prints, which has been fantastic. That's really new for us because we were just working with block colours before. And yeah, I guess sky's the limit there. But, you know, we're also trying to kind of focus with Lide on the business that we have and nurturing it because, you know, I'm quite big on making sure we can look after those clients and work on repeats and that sort of thing rather than go too sparse with it.
Which I presume you've seen other operators do in the past.
Exactly.
And then...
Yes, yeah. And I think, you know, just to keep a nice kind of niche of really loyal customers that you can get repeat replenishment business from, it feels to me a bit sort of smarter and more considered. So that's what we're sort of attempting to do with Lide.